Hello everyone. Today I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about my favorite pens under 100 Indian rupees. So let's get started. So first up I have the Pilot Poplol. It's in 0.7 millimeters tip size and it's a pretty standard gel pen that costs 60 rupees. So let's try it out. So it's a pretty standard gel pen and it writes pretty smoothly. Uh, I think it's a really good deal under 60 rupees. And let's move on to the next pen. This is the Pilot G2, which is basically the older brother of the Poplol. It's also in 0.7 millimeters and it costs 80 rupees. And let's try it out. So it's a pretty box standard gel pen and it's really popular. So I think you've already heard about this. And it writes pretty well. It writes as smooth, if not a bit smoother than the Poplol, but it has a bit of a resistance to it, which I feel like makes it more accurate. So it's a bit of a better gel pen than the Popular, and it lasts much longer as well. So it's a pretty good deal in 80 rupees, but I don't think it's worth spending that much over the Popular. Next up, I have the Sharpie S Gel, and this is a pretty new pen. It came out just a few years ago. Here I have it in 0.5 millimeter tip size. I do believe it comes in zero point 0.7 as well. So let's just try it out. And it's a pretty good pen. It looks really cool, so if you want a professional cheap gel pen, it's pretty good for that. And it costs 75 rupees. As you can see, it does not smudge as much as the Pilot ones, but it's a pretty good gel pen, and overall, I would recommend it. Next up, we have the Pilot Fiction Ball, and I don't know if this is a roller ball pen or a gel pen. It feels like a gel pen, it looks like a gel pen, but it says ball in its name, so I really don't have any idea. And the thing about this one is that it's erasable. So let's just try it out. So it's the smoothest pen we have tried till now, and it writes pretty well. The thing with this is it has the heat sensitive ink, which on applying heat erases. So it's not a special eraser over here, it just produces heat, that's why it erases. And you could probably take a hairdryer to this paper and the fiction ink will erase. And it costs 90 rupees, and in my opinion, it's a pretty good deal. Next up, we have the Uniball Signo 207, 207 Micro, 207 Plus, whatever you would like to call it. It comes in a lot of names, but it's basically the same pen. And it's in 0.7 millimeters here as well. And let's just try it out. So it's the smoothest pen we have tried till now, and it cost 100 rupees. So it's basically at the price point, and it's the smoothest pen till now. It writes really well. So I think it's a really good deal, and it even looks pretty cool. And it's usually around 110 rupees, but on Amazon you can find it for 100. Now we are moving into the rollerball pen. Then first up I have the Pilot High Tech Point V7, known as the Pilot Precise V7 outside of India, and it's in 0.7 millimeters. It's a rollerball pen, which means it uses liquid ink. So let's try it with it. Due to it being a rollerball pen, it of course smudges a bit more, and it's really smooth. And I think it's a great value for money at 60. I think it's 70 rupees. Yeah, so it's a great value for money at 70 rupees. Next up, we have the Uniball Air Micro. So the thing with this pen is it's in 0.7 millimeters, and it's again a rollerball pen, has liquid ink. It comes in a bunch of colors. The thing with this one is the whole tip is made of plastic. There's very little metal components in here, if there is any. I'm not aware of. I think the ball is metal and the tip is plastic. So let's write with it. So it smudges a lot more than the other pens, but it also writes pretty smoothly. And due to the plastic tip, or if you whatever you have to call it, it has a bit of pressure sensitivity. So if you were to press harder, it would create a thicker line, as you can see over here. It The pressure sensitivity is negligible, but it is there. So it's a pretty good option for a 95 rupees, and yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I would personally prefer the V7, but it's still a pretty good option if you want a pressure sensitive pen. Last of the rollerballs, we have the Uniball Vision Elite, and this is in 0.8 millimeters. It's pretty much as good as it gets for a rollerball. Let's try it out. So it smudges a lot. I did that two times because I couldn't get the S to smudge. Let's just try it again here. Oh yeah, it smudges a lot, but it's really smooth, and it's a bit on a bit of the thicker side, but it's a really good pen, and it costs 120 rupees. Usually you can find it on Amazon for 100, so I've included this in our segment. Last up, I have the Hauser XO or Inkex fountain pen, and this is pretty much the only fountain pen I would recommend in this price range. Things don't get better until you get to the Platinum Preppy, which is 350 rupees, and let's try it out. So this is pretty much a carbon copy of the Flare Inky. So if you want to get that, you can get that as well. But it comes with cartridges and a converter as well. Right now it's filled with Parker fountain pen ink, and I've had good experiences with this ink, so I'm using it. Let's try it out. It writes incredibly smoothly. I think the body is not as high quality as the Flare Inky, but it does cost 10 rupees less at 50 rupees. It's a pretty good pen, and you get cartridges and a converter. You get two cartridges and a converter. Actually, you get three cartridges. Yeah, you get three cartridges and a converter. Sorry about that. And it looks pretty good, but it's a great fountain pen. And unless you're stepping up to something like the Platinum Preppy or a Jinhao pen, I don't believe it's worth investing more in a fountain pen under 100 rupees. And that's pretty much it. So these were the pens we talked about. For each category, I'll recommend one. For the gel pen, I would recommend the Signo 207, because it rides really smoothly. And if that's a bit over your budget, I would recommend the Pilot G2. And yeah, for the rollerball category, I would recommend the Pilot V7. And if you wanted to spend a bit more, the Vision Elite. In my opinion, the Air is only worth it if you're looking for the pressure sensitivity. And for the fountain pens, there is only one, the Hauser XO Ink X. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.